This is Carlo Little, part-time drummer and burger vendor at Wembley Stadium.
Well, it's not that busy here. It's not the case of burgers anymore. It's egg and bacon's the most popular. It's reasonably busy. I wouldn't like to put a figure on it, but it keeps me going.
He's the man who made the worst decision in rock and roll history.
When I met the Rolling Stones 1962, I was with a blues band in London. 3 or 4 young lads kept following us around on a few clubs we were playing at. And they turned out to be Mick, Keith and Brian. They said, well, we're forming a band and we need a drummer. Would you help us out? And I said, well, I can't really. I've got to earn a living. Try Charlie Watts. And the rest is history. People ask me, you must have been mad, you know, look, you'd have been big megastar, rich, famous, all the money in the world and all the rest of it. I said, yeah, but I've got no regret. Mind you, I've always wondered what it'd be like to see them again.
The Stones were playing Paris that weekend. They had no tickets, but Carlo dreamed of seeing his mates again.
I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know, it's 35 years. I mean, you can't go up and say, oh, lads, I'll see you've made it then. You know, of course they've made it. Once I get into it, I'll be all right.
For once, there was some media interest in Carlo.
People have asked me often, when you knew the lads, were they into drugs and all that sort of thing. Of course they weren't into drugs. They couldn't even afford a bottle of water.
Carlo hadn't been back to Paris for 30 years, so he and Iris combined a spot of sightseeing with Mission Impossible, finding some Bakshi tickets for the Stones concert.
It's got to be here somewhere, I'm sure. It's sold out. We're looking for some Rolling Stones tickets. Sorry, but it's sold out.
But UK Raw tracked down Stones guitarist Ronnie Wood. We told him that Carlo was in town. And hey, presto, tickets for the show and even VIP backstage passes.
Yeah!
So tell us what happened with the lads, Carlo.
They turned round and saw me at the door and they went, Carlo! I said, it's been a little while, lad, hasn't it? 35, he said, man. He said, oh, so pleased you'd come. I said, Keith, what are you doing later? Fancy a drink? Fancy a drink? You're coming back to the hotel. It's Mick's birthday and there's a great big party. Okay, come on, let's have a sit down, let's have a chat. Want a drink? Getting drinks, photos, arms around each other. And the more it went on, the more exciting it got. I really couldn't believe it was all happening. It was like a dream. It was rock and roll in the 60s, and we're all still rocking in the 90s. Yeah.